buddy Tom Ward, who used to be a colleague here and is still very much a colleague in absentia. I don't know.
I will be moderating, which means that I'm going to be a stickler on the time and keeping these folks to our pre-agreed constraints. Before we begin, let me give an introduction of each of them. This introduction is found in some of the materials some of you may have, but I would like to read it anyhow. Dr. Thomas Flint, on my right, is Professor of Philosophy at the University of Notre Dame and has taught or published in many areas of philosophical theology, philosophy of religion, metaphysics, the history of political theory, as well as classical Greek drama. These publications include titles such as Divine Providence, the Molinist Account, Christian Philosophy, and Hermes and Athena, Biblical Exegesis and Philosophical Theology, as well as articles and journals, one in particular called Risky Business, Open Theism and Incarnation. And he is author of the forthcoming Oxford Handbook of Philosophical Theology that he's co-editing with a colleague. Tonight, he will be defending the classic concept of God, as well as debating from a philosophical standpoint the notion that God does know the actual future. William Hasker, on my left, is Professor Emeritus of Philosophy at Huntington College in Huntington, Indiana, where he taught for a very long time. 1966 until 2000. Sorry. His main interests are philosophy of religion and philosophy of mind. He's author of Metaphysics, Constructing a Worldview, God, Time, and Knowledge, The Emergent Self, and Providence, Evil, and the Openness of God. He's also co-author of a volume called The Openness of God, A Biblical Challenge to the Traditional Understanding of God, and also many other things. I can start reading his other books, but I'll keep going. He's authored many different articles in journals, dictionaries, and encyclopedias. He was the editor of a prestigious journal called Faith and Philosophy. The new editor is on my right, so that has recently been transferred between the two. Bill tonight will go first. He'll have 15 minutes to present his case. He will be defending open theology and denying that God knows the future. And then Tom will have 15 minutes to present his case. Each will be given, I believe it's 8 minutes, I've got my exact time over here, to respond to each other, and then there'll be about a 10-minute free-for-all between the two, in which the gloves come off, and then it'll be open to all of us to ask questions of the two. So would you please welcome the two, and Bill will come to begin.
Well, thanks to all of you for coming. The thesis I'll be defending in this debate is the following. Open theism offers the best way for Christians to think about God and God's relationship with the world. Having stated the thesis, I must add that my defense of it will be limited in two ways. Given the brief time available, it will not be possible to argue for the superiority of open theism over all of the other ways in which divine providential activity has been understood. Some of you here tonight are process theists. I will not be addressing the differences between process theism and open theism. I suspect that process theists will agree with quite a bit of what I will be saying. It's very possible, I don't know for sure, that some others here are Calvinists or theological determinists. If so, you will definitely disagree with a lot of what I say, but then you'll also disagree with a good bit of what Professor Flint has to say. It's my hope that in the midst of our disagreements, we can agree that we are all Christians honestly seeking both to do God's will and to find the best possible way of understanding God and His ways with us. The other limitation is this. I'll be referring only incidentally and in passing to the biblical issues surrounding the debate between open theism and alternative views. This seems appropriate not only because of time limitations, but also because another debate is scheduled that will focus precisely on this aspect of the topic. Instead, I'll be concentrating on the broad theological and philosophical issues involved and the differences between open theism and the views defended by my friend Tom Flint. Consider then the question, does God know the future? Of course he he does. Sorry to cut you up. Of course he does. The real question, however, is what does God know when he knows the future? What, in other words, is the nature of the future? The future I propose is best understood as a realm of possibilities. It consists of the possibilities of all those events that may happen, given the way things have happened up until the present. Some people, of course, think there is one and only one way in which things are able to happen, given the way things have gone up until now. That is to say, the events of the past determine all the events of the future. People who hold this are quite appropriately known as determinists. I emphatically reject determinism. I believe that there are often two or more quite different ways in which the world can go forward, starting from a given point in time. Furthermore, I believe that it's often up to us human beings, as we exercise our God-given power of free will, which of a number of possibilities for the future shall be realized. Philosophers term this a libertarian view of free will, and it's a view that I passionately embrace. The future, then, is a realm of possibilities, of things that may happen in times to come. To be sure, some of these future possibilities are much more likely to be realized than others. Not all events that are possible are equally probable. There may even be some things that are certain to occur. This could be so for at least two different reasons. It could be, on the one hand, that a chain of cause and effect has been set into motion, one that no one has the power to interfere with in a way that would prevent the future event from occurring. Or it could be that a wise and very powerful being has made up its mind that things will turn out in a certain way. If the being is sufficiently powerful, it is able to guarantee that nothing and no one will be allowed to prevent the event in question from occurring. Now, if we accept this account of the future, we can very easily answer the question, what does God know when he knows the future? The answer is that he knows the possibilities as possible, he knows the probabilities as probable, and he knows the certainties, especially the things that God himself has guaranteed is going to happen. He knows them as certain. And this is just what open theism says. All of us know, however, that a great many Christians have not been satisfied with this answer. They wanted to say, on the contrary, that God knows all of the events of the future with certainty. All those events that will result from the choices of human beings, as well as all events in nature and all actions of God himself. Now, some of these Christians have been and are explicitly deterministic in their views. They hold that God has decreed each and everything that will ever occur, and that it's absolutely impossible that anything should ever happen contrary to God's decree. In most of what I say, I will not be arguing against this view. I acknowledge that the view is logically coherent, at least at this point. It may have serious difficulties at other points, but they're not a concern at this moment. A good many Christians, however, have wanted to hold both that the future contains real possibilities, and it's sometimes within our power to determine what shall take place, and also that God knows with absolute certainty everything that will ever occur, down to the slightest detail. On the face of it, this seems absurd. If the future really is a realm mainly of possibilities and probabilities, with only an occasional event that is certain from him, then for God to know all of the events of the future as certain is to know them as something they are not. And if that doesn't qualify as absurd, what does it take? I believe that it really is absurd, and that the numerous attempts to evade this conclusion are just that, evasions, and unsuccessful ones at that. I must acknowledge, however, that a good many thoughtful and intelligent Christians have thought otherwise. So I will now attempt to reinforce what has been said to this point with a formal argument. Let's take a concrete example, one that I have borrowed from Thomas Flint. Consider a certain Cuthbert who is right now, at this very moment, contemplating the purchase of an iguana. He hasn't yet made up his mind whether to purchase it or not. And nothing in his character or previous experience guarantees a choice in one direction or the other.